Andrius Kubilius was last month elected Lithuania's prime minister, but his honeymoon period has been short. According to the EU's accession treaty, Lithuania must start decommissioning the Soviet-made Ignalina power plant by December next year. But Lithuania says Ignalina must be active for 2 more years to avoid dangerous power cuts, a situation that's created a standoff with the EU.
Prime Minister, welcome to Euronews. Well, first of all, what Lithuania is going to do with the Ignalina? Is your country going to comply with the commitment taken at the moment of the negotiations for joining the European Union to close this nuclear power plant?
In a longer term perspective, we are quite sure that together with the European Union, with the Commission, we shall solve the problems of energy security for the Baltic region. We are still continuing some discussions on short-term problems which can arise after the closure of Ignalina, if we shall close at the end of 2009, and 2 years will be quite problematic. We are not so sure about if really electricity supply will be enough in the region.
Time is running short. I mean, just 1 year.
We need, of course, to have much more speedy building of, first of all, of electricity bridge to Sweden. And that would allow us to feel ourselves much more safe in such case if there will be any kind of problems with the supply of electricity.
Do you think that the electricity bridge between Sweden and Lithuania will be ready by January the 1st?
No, that is out of question, of course. But I don't have an answer, and I don't know if Commission has an answer what to do at the beginning of 2010, if we shall have, for example, here in Lithuania, a cold winter, shortage of electricity supply, because the only way which we shall have, the only solution which we shall have to buy electricity from Russia, if you look into some statements by international experts, it looks like that in Russia itself they have sometimes problems with the electricity supply for domestic markets, especially in the cold winters.
The impression is also that it's not that Russia won't be able to provide energy, to supply energy, but the problem is that you don't trust, politically speaking, Russia. Is that true?
The closure of Druzhba pipeline, which was used earlier to provide oil to a refinery in Mažeikiai, and the closure which was made on political basis from Russian side, simply because we sold the refinery not to a Russian company but to the Polish company. Of course, it does not improve, our feeling of trust towards Russia. So, but even despite that fact, are we trusting or not trusting? The question is about physical capabilities. Really, we do not know, and there are different calculations. Some calculations are showing that there is no possibility to provide enough of electricity or enough of gas, or to make enough of electricity from that gas, even if that would be provided.
Visagina nuclear power plant, the new Ignalina. Mm-hmm. Do you think that this nuclear power plant is going to be built?
It's a challenge to find an agreement among 4 countries. I'm always saying that let's read experience of Airbus, and all those discussions sometime in among different countries. There is no big experience on having such kind of business and have an agreement among 4 countries on such kind of business. But I am quite sure that we shall agree.
But there are speculations saying that the problem is that Lithuania won't lead the project and won't lead the team.
Well, there is of course we want to have some kind of leadership, because we are really taking a big responsibility to have such kind of nuclear power station on our territory. But we need to have a very practical agreement on percentage of shares, on how to divide generation capacities, and things like that. So Poles are saying that really they need to participate in our project of new nuclear power station, because they have a shortage of capacities and electricity supply in northeast of Poland. Of course, maybe they will try to use participation in new Ignalina as some kind of learning process for themselves, which is good. I think that Poland will have nuclear power stations in, let's say, 15 or 20 years' time, for sure. But just now, what we are targeting really is to move forward with very clear political agreement and very clear business agreement on building new Visaginas nuclear power station.
However, there are problems of leadership or problems among countries, political problems, because also when it comes to the electricity bridge, there are some different point of view among the Baltics.
If you look into Lithuania and Latvia, it's very clear that we are really prepared, both from business point of view, from financial point of view, from infrastructure point of view, to have as soon as possible electricity bridge to Sweden. Latvians are a little bit behind in such kind of preparation, and simply they are talking much more about some kind of national pride than really, let's say, business stuff.
Do you think that without Ignalina is going to be more difficult for your country to comply with the commitments taken on this on fighting climate change?
I know that negotiations are also going on with the Commission to give us some additional amount of emission quotas. We have very clear vision what we need to do to save energy, especially in heating energy. We have big challenge to renovate apartment buildings, which are old Soviet type buildings, which are using twice more of heating energy than the new modern houses. Numbers are really big ones, what we need to do. We have 27,000 apartments.
A lot of money are needed.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you think you will get this money?
All the assistance from EU side, from all other possible sources would be of a very great value. Saving of energy, of course, brings also saving of finances, which we are using just now, for example, to buy gas from Russia. But for a medium term, we shall have really a big challenge to implement such a program.
Thank you very much,
Thanks a lot.
Prime Minister.
Thanks a lot.